think I've finally developed a system for acquiring new customers for high ticket service based businesses or coaching businesses, anything of that sort. So this video is going to be completely unplanned, unscripted, and I'm just going to run you through the system that I've spent about 2 years sort of developing and creating. So my name's Luke Watkins. I run Social Flow Marketing. Started as a web design company. We did social media management. We run Facebook ads. But I kind of realized that businesses didn't need one of those things. They needed, and the thing they wanted was leads. They wanted to scale their business. So I've spent the last 2 years kind of working with clients and developing a full solution that will allow you to go from, a few grand a month up to 6 figures a year. And ideally this system will take you from 6 figures all the way up to sort of 7 figures before you really need to look into much more investment and things like that. If you've got a small team, if you've got a service-based business, and if you sell services or potentially coaching or info products for £500 or more, then this system will work for your business. So let me stop talking and we will get into the system. So I kind of break the system down into 5 stages, and excuse my drawing on the computer, it's not going to be great. But the first stage we've got, that is supposed to be a 5. The first stage we've got is traffic. Jesus Christ. We're going to have to type, I think. So traffic is the first stage. So what I mean by traffic is attention, essentially. People who know about you, know about what you sell, getting attention onto you and onto your business. So there's a few ways that we can get traffic. There's a lot of ways we can get traffic actually. But the ways that I am going to focus on are organic social media. That's the first one. And we've also got paid social media. So that is essentially posting free content and paying for ads on Facebook, potentially YouTube, Google. I tend to focus on Facebook. And spell social wrong. So that's the first section, which is traffic. And I will try and draw. Essentially, you start off with traffic, and stage 2 is your funnel. So we send traffic into the funnel, essentially, and that is the first stage of the system. So we've got funnel next, and a lot of business owners might not have heard of the term funnel. Some of you might have. It was kind of popularized by Russell Brunson. If you haven't already, I would definitely recommend reading .com Secrets, which is Russell Brunson's first book all about funnels and how to grow your business using sales funnels. So when I say funnel, what I actually mean is essentially your customer journey. So if we go from, I've heard Alex Hormozy call it click to close. So what we mean by this is your traffic can be part of your funnel. So let's say we have a Facebook ad here with some text and a picture. The next stage in the journey then is they might land on a web page. We call them a landing page with some more text and then a button. This is terrible drawing, but you kind of get the picture. So the next stage in the funnel, so they've landed on our page, but what are they actually going to be clicking? What we're not going to do is send them directly to an offer to buy most of the time, especially when you're selling high ticket services. If you run an ad into, get a quote now, For some businesses like trades, it might work because there's people who are in the market for, let's say, a new boiler. They might just want to get a quote. 9 times out of 10 though, and I think we can look at this. So if you've read this book by Sabri Suby called Sell Like Crazy, he's made, I think, hundreds of millions of dollars basically helping people acquire clients. So let's look at your ad here. We know from research that Sabri's team or whoever has done that 3% of your total market are in buying mode. So that means that if we had 100 people in our market and we sent our ad to all 100 people to get a quote, then only 3 of them may actually get a quote. And that doesn't mean that 3 people are actually going to get your quote, because you'll have competitors as well who are actually doing the same as you. So you might not even get any of them. If your competitors have got a much more compelling offer than you, you might not actually get any of those 3%. However, what we've got is 17% of people are in information gathering mode. So what this means is people in information gathering mode, let's say I know that I want to buy a new kitchen. I've spoke to my girlfriend, we've both decided we don't like our kitchen and we want to buy a new one. So we are currently in information gathering mode. So we're shopping around, we are not ready to actually buy because we're doing our research. We're looking at what kitchen suppliers are best, what types of kitchens we might want to go for, how much a kitchen might cost. So we're actually looking for information, and as much information as we can find. And depending on the type of business you're in, people might be in information gathering mode for, months at a time, maybe even a year. If you're looking to buy a new house or move to a new area, you might be in information gathering mode for 12 months or more. And then we've got 20% of people are problem aware. So, like I said, me and my girlfriend, we know that we don't like our kitchen and we want a new one. We know that there's a problem, that we want a new kitchen. However, 60% of people are not actually problem aware. So what this means is, let's go for the kitchen example again. Let's say that my girlfriend and I, we are, we feel like our house is outdated. We're not really enjoying it. We don't like coming downstairs every morning and going about our day, or maybe it's a bit stressful when we're cooking. But we haven't actually diagnosed the problem that we actually need a new kitchen. We're still sort of not problem aware. We might have a pain that we're not enjoying living here, or we don't like cooking, or anything can be pulling on your pain. However, we're not actually problem aware. However, we'll probably be speaking to these two groups together more often than not. So, but what we're going to be focusing on is the people who are problem aware and the people who are in information gathering mode, because these people are the people who you can nurture and actually turn into buyers. So now that we know this information, we come back to our funnel. So we've got an advert to a landing page. But instead of asking people to get a quote, what we're actually going to do on this landing page is we're going to promote a lead magnet. And this might just be as simple as a PDF guide for our lead magnet, but people might be able to download our PDF guide. That's another good drawing. And like I mentioned a minute ago, those people who are in information gathering mode or problem aware, this PDF guide might be 5 things to look out for if you're looking for a new kitchen. That's a bad example, that's off the top of my head, but do you see where that will come into play when instead of targeting the 3%, and we'll still probably run ads at the 3% who are in buyer mode, but we're actually going to be hitting more like 60% of the market with a guide like this. So we're going to be getting a lot more leads. They're going to be then coming through our funnel. And what this is doing, although it's educating them and getting them further down the funnel, further towards that 3% into the buying mode, it's also building a lot of trust on with you and with your business, depending whether you're a personal brand or a big national company. So the more sort of information and the more you help a prospect, because remember, they're in pain. It's not like you're just trying to sell them something for nothing. These people are actually in pain anyway. They're going to get out of that pain one way or another. But if your business can be the person or the business to help them get out of that pain, they're going to have a stronger sort of connection with you. They're going to trust you a lot more. So imagine this. You've helped them answer all the questions that they had. They've got a load of worries about getting a new kitchen. Oh, how much is it going to cost? How long will it take? What type of kitchen can I get? Can I, get a new kitchen even if I've only got £2,000? All these questions that are kind of stopping them from actually becoming buyers. In your free guide, you're answering those questions. You're building credibility. You're building trust. And then what's going to happen when they actually do get to buyer mode? They are 10 times more likely to actually go for your business over another random business that hasn't given them all that trust and all that information. So that is essentially the funnel stage. So that's the 2 stages so far that we've got. The next stage, so we've got the traffic, we've got the attention. Now we've got the funnel where we're actually turning them into potential buyers. The next thing we need to worry about is the sales process. So the way I look at the sales process, I break it down into 3 stages. So the first thing that I look at is nurturing. So what nurturing basically is when people are coming through your funnel, we're building trust with them, but they might just be at the beginning stages of starting to look at a certain problem. They might be just starting to look into a kitchen. So what we want to make sure is they don't basically forget about our business. People don't take action just like that. They kind of, they think about it, they forget about things, they have work, they have life gets in the way. So what we just want to do is nurture them and keep providing value. Don't stop there. They've read the document, but we want to keep providing value as long as we can, essentially. So the way we do that is, first of all, we have email. So once they click there to download our lead magnet, they're going to be put into our system and they're going to give us their email address, essentially. And what we can then do is set up an email sequence. So it might be easier if I just show you, actually. So I'm inside of the Social Flow software that my clients use for their sales and marketing. And what we have here is an email automation. And this is, it looks a bit complicated, but it's not. And I'll just take you through exactly what happens step by step. And this is exactly how we start the nurturing process. So this is actually a real nurturing sequence that I've built for my client. So the trigger is that a form is submitted. So the lead magnet that I was talking about earlier, someone puts in their email, puts in their name, and that's the trigger for this workflow. So the automation gets triggered when they submit their email into our workflow. What we then do is add a tag, just for us to know that they've actually downloaded that. So their name and email will be added to our system, but we tag them to basically distinguish. Maybe we might have multiple lead magnets, and I just want to know who's downloaded what lead magnet, essentially. And then we send them the first email, which is just, hey, thanks for downloading, and here's the link to download the lead magnet, and we put a link in there. Simple, really simple. then we'll wait for an event to happen. So what will happen is, essentially we've got a condition in here. So this looks a bit complex, but it's really simple. All this does is it triggers once they open the email. If they don't open the email in 2 days, they get a reminder, and if after that, they'll just move to the next stage. So if the email is opened, they won't get the reminder email, and then we have a condition here. So if the tag includes client, so all of my clients are tagged with client, because what we don't want to be doing is sending them emails to get them to book a call if they're already a client. So if they're already a client, they basically end the sequence and that's it. If they're not a client, we will add them to the CRM system and we'll wait for 24 hours. And then essentially we're sending them valuable emails every few days just to keep them top of mind. We've actually got someone in this sequence at the moment, even though it's not live yet. So I think that's me actually who's in there. Testing it, yeah, there you go. So we've got the email sequence there, and that can go on for weeks if you want it to. I wouldn't send them every single day because that can get a little bit annoying, but maybe every 2 days for the first week, then drop it down to once every 3 or 4 days, once every 5 days, just to keep yourself in your mind, because it's happened for a lot of my clients and it's happened for me. Someone can be in your pipeline and not ready to buy for months and months and months, and all of a sudden you'll get a message one day going, "Hi, can we have a chat? I'm ready to I'm interested in what you do." And that's why this is so valuable, because we're providing value every single day, and we're keeping the prospects, we're keeping ourselves at the top of their mind, and it keeps building trust as well. So it's a really good thing to do, using the email sequence. The next way that we'll nurture is we'll do content. So it doesn't have to be video content, but there's two different types of content that I look at really. You've got kind of outbound and outreach content, which is simply to get attention basically from people. And then you've also got nurture content. So this is not going to go viral, but what it is going to do, it's going to keep building trust, it's going to keep providing value, and it's going to keep you top of mind for the prospect. So that's what we do in the nurture content. And we'll go into more detail in that with my clients and stuff like that, but this is like a base level overview of the entire system. This video would be hours and hours long otherwise. But the next thing we do then is we qualify buyers. So it's all well and good having these leads in our system. Let's say, I'm looking at kitchens and I'm thinking about buying a kitchen, but if I haven't got a house, or if I haven't got any money, I can't buy a kitchen anyway. So they'd be wasting their time sort of getting me on a sales call. It'd be a waste of my time, it'd be a waste of their time, and also it might not be a right fit for the offer. So if it's something a bit more complex like coaching, some sort of service, you need to qualify if they're the right fit for your offer. So how do we actually qualify our buyers? So the easiest and most straightforward way to actually qualify a buyer is to just pick up the phone and ask them a few questions. So what we're going to do, as soon as we get their mobile phone details, if you don't have their phone details, you could do this via email, but phone's going to be a lot easier, a lot quicker. Maybe we get them to fill out a different lead magnet or something else where we can try and get their mobile phone details, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But what we do is we ring them up and we have a bunch of qualifying questions essentially. And there's 4 kind of categories of qualifying questions that we can ask. So the first one is budget, and that is the prospect capable of buying our product? and that's what we were talking about earlier. If they can't afford it, then there's no point moving forward. The next one is authority. So if we're dealing with businesses or even homeowners, if that person doesn't actually have the authority to make the decision, then we're not speaking to the right person. So, if there's a business and we're trying to get them to sign off on a deal, but we're speaking to the marketing assistant and we need to be speaking to the marketing manager, then the marketing assistant isn't going to have the authority to sign off on that deal. The third one is need. So do they actually have a pain that we can solve? Are they simply just looking into our business? Are they interested in the topic? But we need people who have a pain and a need that we can solve. And finally, it's timeline. So when is the prospect planning to buy? People might be looking at kitchen designs in the showroom, but they haven't even kind of started looking at buying a house yet. So they might be years away from actually going through the process of buying a kitchen. So that's the 4 key areas that you kind of look at in qualifying your prospects. And if you just pick up the phone and ask them a few questions, you can find out a lot of information in a 2 or 3 minute call. And then the next stage then is to get them on a sales call. And there's an art to this. You don't really want to be pushy. I hate pushy sellers, but if we can just position our sales call as valuable to the prospect, let them know that we're not going to corner them, we're not going to trap them in. It's quite easy actually to get people to book onto a sales call. One thing that I would definitely recommend with sales calls is just be transparent. Never kind of corner people on your sales calls. Get them on the call for an hour and then tell them a ridiculously high price that they can't afford, and use terrible close-in and objection handling tactics to pressure them into buying, like I know a lot of business owners do. Let me tell you about one terrible experience I had. I was really interested in a person who sells stuff to do with social media and content, because I wanted to improve my content. Jumped on a sales call. First disappointment was it wasn't with the person who I thought it was going to be with. It wasn't with the creator. But I thought, that's fine. They can't do every single sales call if they want to scale their business. So it was with a sales rep. This sales rep was fucking terrible. She was clearly reading from a script. She was like using some ridiculous close-in tactics to try and pressure me, kind of almost guilt me into spending like 10 grand, and she wouldn't take no for an answer. And then when she finally I told her like no, she tried to then put me into another call, and I had to just tell her like, look, I'm not coming on another call. I've completely lost interest in the product. And the effect this actually had, the reason I'm telling you guys this is I now don't even look at that person's content, and I'm totally uninterested and completely turned off. So them using these closing tactics completely went the wrong way, and they've lost me as a potential customer in the future. I couldn't afford that 10 grand product right now. Maybe I could have in the future, but there's no chance I'm going to buy now. And then on the other hand, I had a similar interaction with a business coach essentially, called Robin Waite. And Robin was completely transparent. He told me the price at the start. He told me everything that I wanted to know. I didn't end up buying because, again, price was an issue for me. And However, Robin was just a complete like gentleman on the call. He was like really nice. If I'm ever in the market again, like I know exactly where I'm going to be going, because he was providing me value. He was giving me advice and tips, like, and I was just on a sales call. I hadn't paid for anything. He was completely transparent with how his process worked, how much it would cost, what he could do for me, and it was just an overall brilliant experience. So you as a business owner, you need to be thinking about your sales process, and I'm not going to try and teach you ridiculous tactics like I've just spoken about, but it's just having the being transparent and being decent on the sales call, because at the end of the day you're dealing with people, and people will tell their friends, people will maybe make content on it like I've just done right now. I'm not going to name and shame the person who I was on a bad sales call with, but if anyone's interested in a business coach, I'd definitely check out Robin Waite, because he's brilliant, and check out his book as well, because that's amazing. Okay, the next stage that we look at in the social flow process is I forgot for a second onboarding. So you might think, like, what's the point in looking at onboarding? Some of you might not actually ever have thought about onboarding. Some of you might already have a process. The reason I look at onboarding with my clients is it plays a really big factor in client retention, which I'll actually tell you now, that is the last stage, is client retention. So the experience that there we go. So when you are onboarding a new client, it's essentially the first impression that they're getting with your offer, with your business, and it's a really critical time when working with them. If you can make them feel comfortable, a lot of people get buyer's remorse. If you can get rid of that buyer's remorse, get them a quick win, make them feel like they've made a really good decision in purchasing or going with your business, signing a contract, whatever it may be, you're going to have much better client retention rates. That's going to help you get more customers, because they'll refer people. That's going to help you make more money from them, because they're more likely to give you money again in the future. And it's just going to help your business in tremendously. So what do I look at in onboarding? So first of all, the good news is you can automate most of your onboarding process, and I do that in a similar way to this in the social flow system. There's some parts that you may need to do in person, but what I look at is basically I use the social flow system. There's a booking system built into this. So let's just say your onboarding is a mixture of in person. Again, let's go for the kitchen example. So I have just signed a contract to get my new kitchen in my house, right? I've just paid maybe half the money. I've paid a deposit. Let's say my kitchen's 10 grand. I've just paid £5,000 and I've walked out of that showroom. I'm then starting to think, like, shit, I've just paid £5,000. Like, that's a lot of money to me. What's going to happen next? When am I going to get my kitchen? Oh shit, like, have I made the right choice? All these thoughts start rushing through your head. So what we want to do is, using the system, we can just put people's mind at ease. We can send them emails, and in these emails we can have kind of case studies with client success stories. We can send them videos of previous clients. We can gather all the information we need. We can get them to book into, how do I draw a calendar? That's as good as it's going to get. We can get them to, if we need them to book an in-person appointment, so let's say they need to select a delivery date, we can send them an email with a link to the calendar system. We could give them a phone call, or we could give them a text. That is fucking terrible. And we could do that automatically. And really, the most important thing for people to know is how are they going to go from this stage here to from they've just paid their deposit or they've just signed the contract, to how are they going to get to the dream outcome, and if you can just make that as transparent and as simple as possible for someone, the onboarding process, they're going to have a really good experience. So that's one thing to think about. The second thing to think about is, can you get them a quick win? Can you help them get a small result as quickly as possible? So maybe not every business can do this, but let's say you're a coach or something like that. If in the first sort of 1 to 7 days you can get them some sort of result, it doesn't have to be the full thing that you've promised them, but let's say you're a fitness coach, a fat loss coach. If you can get them out and get them to lose, their first couple of pounds in the first 7 days by implementing the systems that you've automatically sent them on day one. So you might not have even had your first session yet, but you've sent them an eating guide and a workout guide to start working on before your first session a week from today. If they can start implementing these straight away, and before they've even come in for their first session, they've lost 3 pounds. Can you imagine how much more excited and how much more motivated they're going to be to actually take the rest of the steps and carry on working with you? And this is where I move on to client retention. So this is going to feed into this. So if you've gotten them a quick win, the likelihood that you give them an offer, so they get a quick win, and let's say they are on online coaching only, but they are in your area. You get them a quick win in 7 days, and then you come to them with a special offer. Can we work 1-to-1 together? And I'll give you a 50% discount. They're going to be then 10 times more likely to accept that offer and come on board. And client retention, they're going to be happier because you're going to be able to get them better results on the 1-to-1. You're going to be making more profit, more money, because you're not paying any more money to acquire that 1-to-1 customer. They're already being acquired through your sales process, through your ads and whatnot. And they're more likely to stay as a customer if they're getting results. Let's say they're on a 12-week 1-to-1 over a 12-week online coaching. You're definitely more confident that they're going to get good results on a 1-to-1 basis. And if they've, maybe after the 12 weeks, they're halfway to their fitness goal, what's the likelihood that they're going to come on for another 12 weeks? It's going to be massive. Okay, so within client retention, I also look at referrals and testimonials. So if you can get a result for a client, which hopefully you can, as a service or a coaching business, as soon as they've had a quick win, you can ask them for a referral or a testimonial, and you can actually incentivize that. So let's say you are, it depends what business you're in really. If I've got a new kitchen, I'm not going to ask for a referral until the kitchen's delivered. However, if I'm a fitness coach and I've helped someone lose £10 out of their £50 goal, maybe you'll ask for a referral after they've lost £10. But you can incentivize that. So if your coaching is £500 for a month, how much can you afford to pay for a customer? You might be able to pay £100, and that's something I look at as well, is knowing your numbers, but I won't get into that in this video. But if you're making £500 per month from a customer, and you know that your average customer stays for 3 months, that's £1,500. You can incentivize your current clients to make £100 for bringing you new clients. So what we're doing is we're turning one client into 3 clients. And all we've paid for those 3 clients is £100, and we're making, maybe £1,500 per client times 3. So we're paying £100 for £4,500. Because your best marketing, guys, is going to be your current clients. And to be honest, most business owners do actually do this, is they get referrals. However, you might not be asking for them, which is number one, and you might not be incentivizing and systemizing the referrals process. Because most businesses grow organically. If you're good at what you do, you're going to get referrals anyway. But if we can systemize and really operationalize the referral process, you can literally turn, you can multiply the amount of customers you're getting. Especially, if you're going to be making 4,500, you could be paying even more. You could be paying 500. You could give them a free month. You can do all sorts to get new clients with the referrals. And that kind of links into testimonials as well. So if you're getting great results for your clients, which I only want to work with people who get good results. I don't want to work with cowboys or shit business owners. That's not what I'm about. I want to get good results for people who get good results for their clients as well. The best way to sell something is with a testimonial, with a story. So, if we go to the fat loss thing, if you can tell the story of your client, where they started and how you helped them get to their dream outcome, if you can tell the story along the way of like the transformation, that's going to be so much more powerful than just asking for, a testimonial and going, John was great at PT and really, really helped me. That is shit. But whereas if you can ask the question in like where were you when you started? What did we do? And where are you now? So they might be, I was 50 pounds overweight. I had my wedding in 6 weeks, or I had my wedding in 12 weeks, and I was not happy with the way I looked. I worked with John, and now look at these photos of me on my wedding day. That's how much more powerful is that than just John was great at PT and definitely would recommend 5 stars. Like, that's doing nothing. The 5-star review, that's good, but you need to be getting stories for your testimonials and your results, and spinning these sort of story narratives all the way back up into your traffic, into your ads, into your content as well. So it all kind of links in this whole process. There's one more section that I need to look at, because this is the overall social flow system. So broken it down into 5 steps. You've got traffic, funnel, sales process, onboarding, and client retention. This is the machine that we build. Okay, so imagine this client acquisition system, the social flow system, is a house. Okay, we need foundations for our house. Otherwise, the first time that there's a storm, or if there's a hurricane, our house is going to be gone. And it's the same with our sales and marketing system. If we don't have the right foundations, it's not going to work. Okay, and what foundations I mean are basically your branding and your strategy. And before you click off and think, I've already got branding, I've got a logo, I do not mean a logo. I do not mean colours and stuff like that. What I mean by branding, for what I look at for my clients anyway, is a few things. First of all, defining your offer. So you need to know your offer inside out. You need to be super crystal clear on what you're giving your clients, what you're delivering, because people don't communicate very well, but people who are interested in what you sell, they have a lot of questions and they're not going to ask them. So, spelled that wrong. Defining your offer, okay? Yeah. So that means basically describing what you do, giving them the dream outcome that they're looking for, letting them know the problems that it's going to solve, giving them proof that you've done it before, because they're not going to ask these questions when they're going through the sales process or the funnel. They're going to wait for you to kind of answer them. And as soon as someone gets one of these questions in their head, until it gets answered, they're not going to buy. And that's not what we want. We want people to buy. We don't want to pressure people into buying. But if someone's got a problem and we know that we can help fix it, you want to do as much as you can to make that sale. And that's not pressuring them. That's not anything like that. But yeah. So yeah, the first thing is defining your offer, and you can also go into, Hormozi's $100 million offers book. You can enhance the offer. You can add bonuses, scarcity, urgency, and I would recommend doing that. But before going into any of that offer enhancements, defining the offer is 100% the most important thing. Break it down into stages. Break it down into 3 to 7 stages, depending on how complex your process is. But if you can break it down into stages and let someone know what's going to happen then, this is going to happen next, and how we're going to get the end result, and think about the potential problems and how you're going to overcome them, it's going to make everything 10 times easier. And if you can add a visual to explain that, it's going to be even better. The next thing is, I'm spelling everything wrong now, your target audience. So this goes hand in hand with the offer. So you're going to build your offer around your target audience, or you're going to model your target audience from your offer. So it's going to be one of two ways. Probably the best way is to actually look at your target audience first. I spelled that wrong. But we split the target audience into two kind of questions, or two schools of thought. So first of all, we've got demographics, and then next we've got psychographics. So demographics is things like their age, their location, if it's relevant, their family life, their job, income, what they do. And then psychographics is arguably more important. So this is what's going to help us construct our offer, look at our messaging on our social media posts, on our web pages, on our funnel, on our lead magnet, on our emails. Everything's going to come from these psychographics. So you can see this is one of the most important stages in the entire marketing system, is the psychographics. So we're going to look at, the biggest thing is understanding their desires and goals. So what is your target audience's dream outcome? What do they want to happen? So, if you're a personal trainer, this could really impact the way you're offering. So if your target audience's dream outcome is to lose weight for a special life event, but you're marketing that you're going to help them build strength and build muscle, it's a mismatch. You're not going to hit any any of their pains, any of their problems. Similarly, if your target audience is guys in their 20s who are skinny and they want to put on muscle, but you're posting fat loss tips, you're not gonna speak to those people. So this is really important. And here's a few questions that you can ask people or think about when it comes to psychographics. So obviously their dream outcome. What are their biggest problems that they're currently feeling? What are the deeper pains caused by having these problems? So this is quite interesting. So going on the fat loss example, if they are overweight, what deeper pains might that cause? They might not be able to attract a partner. It might be giving them low confidence. It might make them just feel like shit on a day-to-day. So there's pains caused by problems. Okay. Are there any other pains or problems that are indirectly related? So, like we said, it might be making them feel like shit. This might actually be affecting their relationship because they're not feeling good about themselves. It's actually impacting how they are with their partner, and they're irritable and they're moody all the time. We need to think about their personality, their social media habits, their interests, because people like to work with people who are similar to them. So if you can post, if you're helping people lose weight, maybe you're helping guys in their 20s lose weight who are similar to you, because you've lost weight and now you're helping other people. Think about it, maybe a lot of them are playing video games all the time. If you can appeal to their interests, you can be like, I play video games all the time and I managed to lose this. Like, it's gonna work a lot better than if you're trying to appeal to that exact same target audience and you're saying, I go to the gym 7 days a week, I get up at 5 a.m. I never, it might motivate people, but you're not going to connect with people on that level. So it's just things to think about like that. And then finally, what's their current situation like, and what does their life look like 12 months after achieving their dream outcome? Can you kind of plot the journey that they're going to go on? And then what questions do they think about when they're in research mode, and what do they worry about, and what gives them kind of anxiety about reaching their goal? So if we look at people working with tradespeople, a lot of people are worried, are these people cowboys? Are they going to rip me off? Are they reliable? Are they going to turn up on time? How long are they going to take? All these questions are running through their mind, and if you can answer all of them in your messaging and your onboarding process, in your communication with your clients, it's just going to make things so much better. Final few things in brand before we finish. The next thing is knowing your numbers. So I'm not going to go deep into this. I've done a separate video on this, but essentially there's pretty much a magic formula that you can work out, and it's called LTV to CAC ratio. So LTV means lifetime value of a customer, and CAC means customer acquisition costs. So you can work this out and you can work this out. So if your customer lifetime value is £500, just as a really simple example, and your customer acquisition costs are £100, then your ratio is 5 to 1. So you know that you can spend 100, maybe even more money on acquiring a customer. So you can put more money into ads, you can pay sales reps, and basically scale your business as far as you can handle, essentially. Like I said, I'm going into more detail on that in a separate video, so that was just a really quick explanation on that. And then finally, we need to look at your positioning in the market. And what I mean by this is there are probably thousands, tens of thousands of personal trainers out there. There's tens of thousands of builders. What we need to do is distinguish what makes your offer and what do you do that is better than everyone else. So what things do you do for your clients that other people don't do? What's something that might give you an unfair advantage in the market? And the things that we can look at for this are your unique results, your unique credibility, unique aspects of your framework, so the way you do things, the way you go about things. Maybe you have a unique niche or target audience. So just to go on the personal trainer example, right? So if we look at unique results, maybe they've got insane results for helping customers put on 50 kilograms in 12 months. I don't know, terrible example, but that's a really unique result that no other people in the market have, right? The next thing you could look at that might make you unique is a unique bit of credibility. So maybe you've helped 10,000 clients. Maybe you've helped a celebrity do something, or maybe you have, all the different things that we can look at for credibility. So that's awards, accolades, results, social proof, all those kind of things. So maybe, I've helped, a celebrity in the industry lose weight, something like that. That could be unique credibility. Unique aspects of your framework. So maybe the way you do things is different. So most PTs, you go to the gym and whatever. Maybe this PT actually comes to your house and takes you on a walk and you do your meetings that way. That's really unique. That's really different. That's going to set you apart from your competitors. You know what I mean? And finally, your unique niche or target audience. So maybe you're a PT and you only work with NHS staff because you used to work in the NHS and you can relate to all their problems, their schedule. You build your entire offer around their lifestyle because you know it inside out. So that's how you can really make yourself unique and set yourself apart from your competitors. And guys, this entire process I've gone through is a really basic overview of it all. But I hope it helps you understand the things you need to be thinking about if you want to create a client acquisition system for your business, which is going to take you to 100k if you're not there yet. And if you are 100k, this system is enough to take you to 7 figures, to £1 million a year. So some of the results that we've got for our clients, in January alone of 2025, this year, my client Ben had £78,000 worth of booked sales appointments in his calendar. So that's for his high ticket offer, and that's not just people who downloaded his lead magnet or anything like that. These people applied to work with him on a one-to-one basis. We've just set up this system for my client Max. It's actually not even fully set up yet. We've done kind of the first 2 sections and we've just started looking at traffic. We build the funnel first, we look at the sales process, then we start sending traffic. We're now moving on to looking at onboarding and client retention. But I think he's done like 2 or 3 social media posts. We've had 9 people come into the funnel, and one of those people has already booked a sales appointment with Max. So this system works. It's taken me like 2 years to develop. It works, and we're starting to see the results now after the few years of kind of hard work. So, last thing to do then, if you are a business owner, you sell high ticket services, maybe you're a coach. Most of the people I work with are in the property industry, but I have helped personal trainers, other people like that. Maybe you're even an investor. This system will work for you if you're trying to attract leads and new clients essentially for your business. What I'm going to offer you is a personalized strategy. So what I will do is you click the first link below. I will go through this entire system, look at your business. You basically fill in a few details about your business. And what I'll do is I will come on a call with you and I will give you a custom strategy. So I will tell you exactly what I would do at each stage in the system for your specific business. And then what we'll do from there. Worst case scenario, you've got the custom strategy. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna hard sell you. I'm not gonna force you to buy anything. I'm just going to share with you exactly what I would do. Worst thing is you have the strategy and you can steal it and you can go and implement it. Other alternatives are, we start working together and we crush it and we start generating loads and loads of clients for your business. Either way, I don't care. I just want to, help business owners implement this system and make loads of money this year. So if you want to take me up on that offer, completely free strategy and a call with me, probably lasts half an hour to an hour. Click the first link down below and hopefully I'll be speaking to you soon. Hope you found this video valuable. I've been Luke Watkins and I hope to be speaking to you soon.